Hello, everybody. It's Old Bear with the Old Bears Den and Bigfoot, and I'm here to. I was asked to do a video on the descriptions of the Bigfoot that I have seen over the years, and to give a little insight to people on what they look like. Um, type ones. Let's just get right into it and do type one. Type ones are what I consider the ones that look more gorilla or chimpanzee like. Their face kind of images. It's you can tell it's ape. They have the smashed nose that comes out, and you can see the big nostrils on them, and they look like a gorilla or chimpanzee in the face. They are rather timid. They don't want anything to do with humans. To them, I guess we're detrimental to their health, and they don't seem to want anything to do with us. And they don't. They stay further back in the woods, away from everybody. They don't. And some people see that type, not very often. I've only seen them once or twice. Sorry. And they're kind of nomadic. They move around a lot. And Mrs. Bear's got a cough now.
Allergies.
And she's allergic to everything, it seems like. But she's doing all right. Don't worry.
Sorry.
She's even allergic to me. See what I mean? Anyway, type ones, they're very nomadic. They don't stick around an area super long, and they don't cause trouble. I've never heard of them. People have seen them. They walk through the woods. They catch them when they're walking, or they catch them as they're moving through an area. And they're very protective over their young, and they're very protective over the females. And that's type ones. Sorry about that. The wife had a coughing fit. Told her she's allergic to me. Anyway, type twos. If you look in your encyclopedia or Britannica or medical science books and look up Cro-Magnon man, you have a picture of this type of Bigfoot. They have a very pronounced brow ridge. They have very slender noses that don't have the nostrils, wide open right there, and they have high cheekbones, and their eyes are kind of narrowed a little bit. That type can be problematic at times if they feel threatened. They can get upset easily, and they do have a temperament that they are protective over their own kind. They don't work well with other Bigfoot. They tend to, if another Bigfoot troop moves in, they'll leave. Now, this type tends to walk erect a lot of the time, but they will drop down and run on all fours. The type ones will run on all fours, will move around on all fours predominantly. They don't. But the type twos, they'll walk upright. They have a lean. They lean forward a lot, even when they're standing up. They're leaned forward, and their knees are bent, just like all Bigfoot do, because of their body size. They're fairly heavy. and they can be temperamental, shall we say. But they have human type features, but they have a very pronounced brow across their eyes, and they look like what science has said a Cro-Magnon man looks like. So let's move on to type threes. Now, these are the ones that look like a human being. They're a very, in the Bigfoot species that are out there, these are predominantly the ones that you see. Type 1s and type 2s are fairly rare looking type, they're the rare looking creatures. Type 3s are the ones that have more human features. They don't have a big brow ridge across their forehead. They have human type eyes. They're rather large and stuck out to the sides more, but their eye shape is more like a human. They don't have the pronounced high cheekbones. They have more human features in their face. They do seem to be larger than type 1s and 2s. They reach 8, 9, 10 feet, 12 feet sometimes. But that takes a lot of food for one to reach that size and a long life. Now, type 3s are the ones that'll come to your house and look in your window and watch your TV while you're watching TV, or they'll watch you. They tend to be the ones that'll catch you when you're outside sitting on your back deck and fling pebbles at you from the woods. They usually don't throw like this. They'll throw in a loop or an arch and come down and hit you from 100 feet. They're very accurate. They're very intelligent. They work out problems pretty quickly, type 1s and 2s. It takes them a little longer to catch on, but once they figure it out, they're just like all the rest of them. They're very intelligent. They can work through problems just like we do. Type 3, they don't typically, if pets start disappearing in an area, and large footprints are found, you can bet it's probably a type 3. I'm on a hold for a second. But type 3s are your human type Bigfoot. They look like humans. They're usually the big, strong looking ones. They're big, mean. They have a temperament. They don't care to interact with you. They don't care to come to your house and look in and see what you're doing. They do. Typically, type 3s are the ones that'll come and steal your chickens, or they'll come and steal a goat from you, or a sheep, or. But they don't do anything to harm their food source. They don't do anything to get it taken away. But when they get mad and they want to throw a temper tantrum, they become a little aggressive when it comes to things like that, and they get upset easy. And when they get upset, they don't let things go too easy. They have a long grudge against people. They don't interact well with other types of Bigfoot because they're the smart ones, I guess you would say. They when they run into other type of Bigfoot like type 1s, type 2s, either the gorilla type or the Cro-Magnon like type, they tend to dominate an area. They run other clans out of other types. They interact with other clans of their type fairly easily. If you pay attention to Native American oral tradition and oral heritage, when tribes used to trade, they traded with this type more than anything else. The other types tend to shy away. Um, Most accounts that you hear of people seeing a Bigfoot, it's the type threes because they'll, especially the ones that'll stop and follow you through the woods. There, it's the type three. That's the mentality they have. Type four um, is a Gugwe. It is a It has human features on most of its face, but then it has that muzzle that tends to stick out, and they may or may not have protruding incisor teeth. You know, like the canines that we have in our mouth, theirs tends to grow just to the outside of their lip. Um, this type is an opportunistic hunter. They Their face looks human, but they have that protrusion typically, and they have the canine teeth, and they are the ones that will hunt a lot more meat than the other ones will. The other ones are omnivores. This type is more of a meat eater. It will eat, berries, grubs, roots of plants and stuff like that to sustain themselves and keep themselves healthy. But they tend to kill what they want. And if it's a human being and they're by themselves, they may or may not go after that person. It just depends on how much of a chance they got to be injured. It depends on those things. They're very smart, just like the type threes. They have a very, you know, quick thinking brain, and they assess situations and they fix those situations as best they can, and then quickly they decide on what they're going to do. But they will hunt meat a lot more, your meat. So if they decide to hunt you, best option is to make yourself not vulnerable and to make yourself quickly get back to your vehicle and get out of the area. Then we have the very dangerous type, which is a type 5, and I have not given them a name, but Janosqua. This type is what their name insinuates. Face eaters. They do not care if you have a gun. They don't care. And they are cannibalistic. They eat their own. They will eat any of the other types that they come across. And usually, if there's a group of them or a clan of them, the whole clan is that way. It's not just one. They don't travel in large groups of 10 or more. It's usually under 6, maybe 8 in that clan or in that group, and they eat meat constantly because they're huge. They're usually 10 foot, 12 foot tall. Their face looks like a demon because they've interbred their entire lives. A male may breed with his own daughter or something if they have young, if they don't kill them at birth and eat them. They're very opportunistic. If they come into a farm, there's a lot of chickens and geese and stuff like that, they'll wipe a farm out. They'll kill cattle. I've only ran into this type a couple of times, and they have grotesque features. I've never seen them with third arms or third legs or anything like that, but they have a lot of battle scars on their face where they fought other Bigfoot, or they're just they're very detrimental to humankind. If they see a human and the human doesn't get out of the area quickly, they will try to kill you. Um, and most of the times, if they want to, they will succeed. And the only warning I can give you, if you see this type, get out of the area quietly. Don't let them know you're there. Stay downwind of them to where the air's, or upwind, whatever, whichever way the air's blowing. Don't let your scent flow to them, because then you become the hunted. They're dangerous. They can and will kill you, and they are grotesque looking. If you see a grotesque looking Bigfoot and it's got a piece of meat in its hand, get the heck out of Dodge as quickly and safely as possible. Uh, I mean, don't just go get in your car and drive a mile down the road, drive across a couple of county lines, go home. Um, and this is the type that will break into homes, uh, break into cabins, and if there's food in the cabin, they'll find it and they'll eat it all. They destroy homes, they destroy cabins. They have been known to kill people just for the fun of it. But usually, if they kill something, they eat it. I don't know what else to tell you, but like I said, if you see one, get out of Dodge. But that's the 5 types of Bigfoot. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it gives you some information and some insight into what they look like. And now you'll know the types of ones that I've came across. I hope you enjoy this, and we will see you the next time. Thank you for watching, and y'all have a great day. A blessed one.